What up guys, it's Omar here from TryonLeague, and today I'm going to be doing my Western Conference playoff picks for the first round as I promised in yesterday's video. And yesterday's video was the Eastern Conference picks, so if you want to see that, and I mean if you haven't seen it yet, I'll put it in the description box. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So the first series I'm going to talk about is the Thunder versus the Rockets, and this is going to be really cool storyline because James Harden is going back to OKC to face his former team that he went to the finals with. And I mean, the Rockets have just been mediocre. I mean, at times they looked really good, and at times they looked not so great. And I mean, really, their strength is their offense. They could score a lot of points, but their defense has a lot. I mean, still needs to improve. And that's not a good, I mean, that's not good if you're facing OKC, because Durant, Westbrook, I mean, even Kevin Martin can shoot the ball really well. So, I mean, it's basically just great offenses, but one team can't play defense while the other one can play pretty good defense. So, I mean, I don't really think the Rockets can make it too competitive. I can see them winning a game, maybe in Houston, like maybe a game 3 or game 4, but yeah, it's not going to be such a competitive series. I'll take the Thunder in 5. The next series is the Spurs versus the Lakers. Now this is very interesting because Kobe is obviously out, and so now I mean the Lakers just have to look to Dwight Howard and Paul Gasol to carry them really. And I mean they've just been playing really good basketball recently. And the Spurs, they've kind of declined. I mean, ever since I started praising them, it looks like they've just gone down. And I mean, it may be just because it was the end of the regular season. I mean, they didn't really care too much where they were going to be. They're just getting set for the playoffs, which I can understand. That's what Coach Popovich always does. So, I mean, basically, it's all about the big men here in this series. Can Dwight Howard and Paul Gasol take over this game, take over the series, in fact, so then maybe they can upset the Spurs? But I just don't think they'll be able to do that since Tim Duncan has just been amazing this year. I mean, some people are saying that he should be on the first team All NBA. So I mean, Tim Duncan's just doing amazing. I mean, he's back to his old form, maybe not to his MVP type seasons, but at least like 2006, 2007, when he was still performing at a very, very high level. And I mean, Tony Parker is I think he's just way too fast for any of the Lakers guards to guard. I mean, Steve Nash, I don't think he'll be able to guard Tony Parker. I don't think even Steve Blake or Jody Meeks, whoever they have, I don't think they'll be able to contain Tony Parker. I do think the Lakers are going to make this a tough series for the Spurs, but I think the Spurs are going to gut it out and they're going to win this in 6 games. Then we have what I mean people are calling maybe the most exciting playoff series in the first round, at least, the Denver Nuggets versus the Golden State Warriors. And I mean, this is just two high-flying offenses. They're going to go at it. And I mean, I personally like watching both of these teams. And I especially love watching when Stephen Curry goes on fire, because I mean, when I play, I'm known as at least a decent 3-point shooter, but I mean, I just love it when Steph Curry is just draining those threes. So the Warriors, they've got a killer offense, and their defense is okay. Some nights it'll show up, some nights it won't. But I think sometimes they kind of rely too much on their 2 stars, David Lee and Stephen Curry. They're going to need some big contributions from guys like Klay Thompson and Harrison Barnes. But I mean, they're facing against Denver, who's just been amazing, like legit just awesome. And they just have their entire team now. Kenneth Reed is going to be coming back. I mean, that ankle injury wasn't too serious, so he'll be back. And I mean, I think the Nuggets just have too much talent for the Warriors to overcome. There's way too much talent. And I mean, I think Andre Iguodala is going to have a big series, because I don't think anyone on the Warriors can guard him and contain him as much as, I mean, Harrison Barnes is okay defender, but he's I don't think he'll be able to stop Andre Iguodala. And I think Ty Lawson will be the X factor in the Denver Nuggets winning. I picked the Denver Nuggets to win in 6 games. And finally, we have the Clippers versus the Grizzlies. Now, this was a first round matchup last year, and the Clippers won in 7 games. And that was a very tough series, and I am predicting the same thing to happen. I mean, it's going to be a very, very tough series. Both teams are going to be going at it, fighting each other. I mean, and these two teams really match up well. I mean, they both have the dynamic point guard. I mean, Chris Paul's much better than Mike Conley, but Mike Conley can do the things that Chris Paul does, maybe just not at the level that Chris Paul does. And then you have Zach Randolph and Blake Griffin, those two going at it. They're just very good low post scorers and very good defense as well. But I think the real good matchup to watch is going to be Marc Gasol versus DeAndre Jordan. Because, I mean, DeAndre Jordan needs to contain Marc Gasol. Because if Marc Gasol gets, like, 20 and 10 every game for this series, then I think the Grizzlies, they're going to maybe even take this in 6 games. Because I don't think, if Marc Gasol is doing well, then the whole Grizzlies team does well. Because he's like their main focal point. And everything just goes through him. For the Clippers, they just have to play their game. They need to get onto the fast break, and if they do that, they're gonna win. They're gonna win the series in probably 6-7 games. I do predict this series to go 7 games, and I mean this took me so long to make a decision, but I do pick the Clippers again to come out in a 7-game series against the Grizzlies. I just don't think the Grizzlies will have enough to like keep going against the high-flying Clippers. So yep, Clippers in 7. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure you see my other predictions for the Eastern Conference if you haven't seen them. Enjoy the playoffs, guys. I'll try and maybe put up a video around Sunday afternoon, maybe Sunday night, just to recap our first weekend. So that's it. So long.